This is Rock Leach with Social Fire. There comes a time where, when we are as YouTubers, get to where people want to try to bring lawsuits against us and, or some sort of bullying tactics, different things of that nature. Larger organizations usually try this. Whenever Daystar did this originally, there were a lot of YouTubers that went to the hills. They just was like, I'm not, I can't do it. I don't want any threat of a lawsuit or anything like that. And they stopped creating content. But because we're built different here and have different resources here on Social Fire, we doubled down. And I went on a 2 week binge of just talking about Daystar. That's just because we do not tolerate bullying over here, especially when we're within our legal rights to say and give commentary on what we're talking about. Now, I believe in freedom of speech. However, we have to understand freedom of speech does not necessarily mean freedom of consequence. You can say what you want to say, but many times you've got to deal with the consequences of what you said, which is why we've made our platform larger by reaching over into platforms like Rumble. Yes, Social Fire is on Rumble. And there will be times that I want to say things that I know will not be good for a YouTube space, and I may need to say it on Rumble. So our team is grateful for Rumble so that we can go over there and rumble things up. As it pertains to God, some things that I want to say about God in different situations, it's not for a YouTube audience. Well, the audience will be okay with it, but YouTube itself might censor me. And so those videos, I'll make it known that we have made a video in that regard, and you can go over to Rumble. And if you're not subscribed over on Rumble, go subscribe to our Rumble channel. Now, when I say that, when Daystar came out with these different things of that nature, I was very appalled. I consider myself a leader, and I just believe that it's bad when you try to bully people because you have the resources, assuming that other people don't. Other people don't have legal counsel that's on their team, that don't have different things of that nature. But some people are new to this, but then there are others who are true to this. And so we went on that binge and talked about it until we got tired of talking about it. We did all kind of videos, and we'll probably do a video in the future or so, but I just needed to make it known, and somebody needed to be able to see other channels who were not afraid. Now, I wasn't the only channel that was not afraid, but there were several other channels that were not afraid. And we needed to be those examples to people who are watching this whole thing, and also let Daystar know at the same time, we not afraid of you. And so giving a shout out to all those channels who received paperwork from Daystar about cease and desist, to stop talking, and even those of you that got on camera and ripped it all up. But there's a situation that's going on now that I want to talk about. That's another legal bullying tactic that's going on, looks like. And I want to get into that. You don't want to miss this video.
Welcome to Social Fire, where faith meets real life. Let's ignite the conversation.
And so there is a new it's not a new YouTube channel, it's a podcast, Mega Maniacs podcast. One of the podcasts that I really enjoy here on YouTube. You get a chance to go over there and look at Mega Maniacs. They're doing a great job over there, led by Sister Robin. Now what'll happen is that she's become a place and a space for people who have dealt with abuse inside of the church, and in particular World Harvest with Rod Parsley. And I've heard some great interviews. Now, the reason that I'm okay with this, and I actually appreciate this, because we all need to be watchmen on the wall, but her channel is a little different from ours because she's actually giving us space, doing interviews. Even some of the interviews, people don't reveal who they are, but they're sharing truths about what happens in these mega church spaces. And I applaud her for doing that. Great job over there, Robin. What you do, that's Robin right there. And some time ago, when it came to Robin being interviewed for something that's going on, because she is going after World Harvest many times, and will expose things that they are doing behind the scenes. And I'll even be honest with you, I didn't even know about the rant from her daughter or some of the other audio that was exposed until Mega Maniacs did it, and I was able to get my hands on that audio. Well, our team, I know that's where they got it from. They actually told me that's where they got it from. And so she is involved right now with some legal bullying that is going on. Now, she was being interviewed by a friend of mine, a brother of mine who I have a great respect for, which is Moments of Truth podcast there with Brother Jason Rembert. He has an awesome podcast there, great team there, led by his wife who leads the team there. And I have a great respect for them. He invited me to do this interview with Robin about this whole legal bullying thing, lawsuit thing that's going on where they are attacking her. And I could not come, and I hate that I could not come. However, I was in a small sabbatical at the beginning of the year in December. We always set time away so that we can hear from God and know what we're going to do for the coming year. And usually during that time, I can't do anything YouTube wise or anything like that. And so I had to bow out of that just because of my confines, the boundaries that I had set up for this time of hearing God. And so I want to get on to and say this and get on to that whole event by acknowledging this right here. And this is Brother Jason Rembert here, who does a wonderful job, Moments of Truth podcast. Now, I will say this, even though I wasn't able to go, this brother here did an awesome job with interviewing her. Now, y'all know I'm the one that's going to come for you when it ain't a good interview. When it's that bad interview, y'all know Marcus Rogers did that interview over there. And that video of me with that rebuke for him is still going. That video is still going. And I don't take it back. Marcus should have known better. He should have known better. And when you know better, do better. God just expects all his aces to be in their places. And so with this conversation that happened with Moments of Truth podcast and Sister Robin, Brother Jason went down through there, gave us a lot of information because I was able to watch it in the replay and gave me a greater understanding. I had a greater understanding of Sister Robin, have a greater understanding of Mega Maniacs and what their goal is and how it actually operates. And I appreciate this brother for doing an interview how it really should be done and how God expects us to do it. And so I just want to go back to this right here because of these things that happen, and you get people who organizations that try to come against YouTubers. I want to go over a few things that we have to be aware of when we're dealing with these kind of things. Why would these larger organizations come against a YouTuber, a Christian content creator, small one? Let's go with that, because even though we've had close to 5 million views this year, that we're still considered small. We're still considered a small channel compared to financially these other organizations, compared to a Daystar, compared to a Rod Parsley organization. But why would they do that? And so I've got a few reasons. First of all, they want to stifle accountability instead of addressing legitimate criticism or unethical behavior. So what the organization might try to do, they might try to use its resources to intimidate smaller creators, which is what we've noticed in this situation right here. Be quiet. We don't want to have a conversation about that. And what this does is it prevents real conversation or any chance of reform whenever you do these kind of things. Next thing that it does that I want to make sure we get into is that what it does is it's a fear of negative exposure. I don't know why people want to do negative or don't want nobody to talk about the negative. When you do the negative and you allow the negative to become a normality, that is bad. That is dysfunction. And it's not right for people of God to be in a church being abused. I don't care if it's members or staff. It should not be happening. Rather than deal with the claims directly, the organization could be more focused and is more focused on protecting its image at all costs. Daystar is guilty of this. Rod Parsley and all the little Parsley is guilty of this. When you're focusing on this, and this is what it looks like is going on whenever you try to, you fear negative exposure, you're protecting an image. You're going to do it at all costs, even if it means unfairly targeting smaller creators. When I say smaller creators, I'm talking about like a Mega Maniacs. This often means avoiding the real issues and trying to silence dissent when people don't agree with what you're doing. And I think that this is bad. So there's also overreach and bullying. This is something that happens, and I've noticed it even as well. People will overreach and bully large organizations when they'll actually try to take legal action just because they have the power to do so, using their size to push smaller creators into submission. This is an abuse of power. And it's actually an attempt to oppress those who don't have the same resources. And we see this happen all the time in YouTube, in these YouTube streets. We saw this happen when people was trying to bully, when Daystar was trying to bully and succeeded in some instances with this bullying tactic. When they got several YouTubers just pulled the videos down and did not comment anymore about what was going on. Why? Because they know that Daystar has great resources. This is the same thing that I believe is happening with Sister Robin. You've got great resources trying to come against her. And that's exactly what it is. So let's deal with the next thing. It is a chilling effect on free speech. I thank God for free speech. I appreciate it. But by pursuing defamation claims, the organization is actually, and what they're actually doing is that they're trying to create fear or uncertainty in the YouTube community. And what they're also doing is it's going to discourage others from speaking out, and it's shaming their opinion. And that's the thing that's going on. They don't want your expression in this area. And what they want you to do is they want you to be quiet when it comes to saying anything about them. And that is a problem. That's a problem when you also allow transparency. Instead of being transparent, instead of engaging in open dialogue, and addressing these criticism in this regard, you jump straight to legal action. Why we can't talk about nothing? Why won't Rod Parsley, and this is a good one, why won't Rod Parsley just come to Mega Maniacs and let Robin interview him? Why won't you do that, man? Why won't you just come on over there? Let's go ahead and just talk. The buck stops here, Robin. Instead of suing you, I'm gonna sit down and have a conversation with you. Let's sit down, me and you have a conversation. Rod Parsley, you too big to do that. Go on over there and let her interview you, and then you kill all this. You can let you get your words out there, let folk know. Unless you're too big, unless you're just trying to not be transparent. Instead of having open dialogue addressing the criticism, you want to jump straight to legal action. And y'all, I think that's a problem whenever somebody jumps straight to legal action. I'm telling you, a hit dog gonna holler. I'm telling you, a hit dog is going to holler. And so we're looking at this, and let's go even further right here. When it's used as vengeful tactics, y'all, uh, sometimes larger organizations go after small YouTube channels simply because they're offended by negative comments. So they'll come after you, but if you look down in the comments section, folk down there are saying what they really want to say. You got a lot of ex World Harvest members that are getting the comments, and they're going to say they gonna talk they talk. And sometimes organizations can't stand that. And it's less about protecting the reputation and more about retaliating for perceived personal slights. I want to attack Mega Maniacs because they had the nerve to say what they said. Instead of sitting down and having a dialogue, I'm going to attack them because they said what they said. And that's a vengeful tactic, y'all. We got to call it what it is. That's a vengeful tactic. And the last thing that I want to give you is this right here. A disregard the value of smaller creators. I think that if Rod Parsley wanted to really make an impact, he wouldn't go for what seems to be the big thing. Go to Robin's channel. Now, she ain't got 70 million people over there as far as subscribers, but clearly, if she's big enough for you to sue, if that's really what you're trying to do, then she should be big enough to have a conversation with. You can go over there, sit on her platform, and she'll interview like she's interviewed everybody else. I've looked at most of her interviews, and she's really fair. And I just don't believe that she would not be fair with you and asking real questions. And of course, your feet gonna be held to the fire because you're no different than anybody else. But why not go and have a conversation instead of missing the value of a smaller creators? Now, larger organizations notoriously oftentimes don't recognize the important role of creators in playing in shaping conversation. And what we do is that, like Joni Lamb said, bottom feeders and different things of that nature, and we get into this kind of foolishness. I think all of this is bad, but I want you to know what's going on in this regard. I want you, if you would, do this for me, do this for me. I want y'all to go over there to Mega Maniacs, and she's got a way you can support her with this legal defense. I want you to go over there and support. I want you to go over there and support because she needs your support because she's being attacked. They are being attacked over there. And when I say they're being attacked, y'all, there's some legal action that's being taken. And I want us to be supportive of what's going on. This is one of my contributions to supporting Mega Maniacs in that regard because I believe that everything should be done fair. If they got all those resources to just kind of spin your wheels and just sue you frivolously, then we need to go over there and support her so she can have some resources to countersue. I'm just saying, I'm just going to keep it 100. And so I want to know ultimately, what do you think about this? Jump in the comments section and let's talk about it. Let's go.